acrid stench of urine-tinged underground snakes its way up my nose. It travels up, up, until it tickles my brain, awakening the warnings restrained in my mind since I stepped off the plane last night. Bolded words flashing on the TripAdvisor website, repeated across tattered pages in my Rick Steves pocket travel guide, plastered on posted signs just past customs, outside baggage claim, and near every ATM machine throughout this city. Warnings so dire, so potent, so directly aimed at the most naive and gullible of all, that they are scrawled not in Italian, but in the universal language of tourism, English. Beware of thieves, pickpockets abound, use caution on public transit. Now, I tend to consider myself a fairly well-seasoned traveler. I've found that with just a little bit of preparation, a healthy dose of patience and humility, and a keen sense for distinguishing the trustworthy from the seedy, traveling can be exhilarating and virtually stress-free. But this place, according to Rick Steves, could be one of a different nature entirely from what I have encountered in my travels. This is no Togo, no Mali, no Niger or Senegal. No, this is foreign. This is anxiety-inducing. This is apparently home to the most masterful thieves of all. This is a metro station in Rome. Luckily, I am wearing a money belt. I hadn't planned to wear it. That 15-year-old canvas zipper pouch with adjustable waist strap and plastic snap enclosure. That flat utilitarian cousin of the mighty fanny pack, gem of the 80s and the ultimate tourist accessory of all time. I didn't want to wear it, told myself I wouldn't wear it, was convinced that I'd only packed it in my suitcase just in case. But this morning, there I stood at the edge of my Airbnb bed, tucking my journal, pocket travel guide, and metro map neatly into the modestly sized pocket of my shoulder bag, avoiding that one looming question until I simply couldn't avoid it any longer. Where, oh where, was I gonna put my valuables? And by valuables, I mean your standard traveling fare. Credit card, debit card, passport, extra euros aside from the small amounts I'd already stashed away in my jeans pocket, the oddly oversized medieval room key I was given, and of course, a paper list of emergency phone numbers because, well, I'm old school like that. I carefully examined the looseness of the leather flap that snapped closed the bag, imagined the ease with which a sneaky hand could reach inside or snip the snaps or, dare I think it, cut a slit in the bottom for my trove of treasures to come pouring out. My final analysis, my shoulder bag, while aesthetically awesome, was sorely lacking in the anti-theft department. And thus, I ever so begrudgingly extracted the money belt from its hiding place deep within my suitcase. I turned the faded canvas pouch in my hands, noted the simplicity of the single pocket, the non-aerodynamic shape of the pre-modern design, the elegance of an accessory purely devoid of fashion sense. It was perfect. I threw my shit in there, strapped it on, and was ready to face the day. At first, we were long-lost acquaintances, my money belt and I not yet trusting in its presence, not certain as to how it would handle itself in a crowd. It not yet familiar with the contour of my belly, not sure how to hide the corners of its pocket from protruding under my shirt. And the logistics of actually getting into the damn thing. Oh, that mortifying moment at the espresso stand this morning. A line of caffeine-starved locals behind me, an impatient cashier staring me down, and me reaching into my jeans pockets and finding only the transit pass I'd already spent my stash of euros on. I had to scramble into my money belt, lifted my shirt, bared my pasty white skin, hung my head in embarrassment. There's been a learning curve, to say the least, an awkward learning curve. But as the next 12 hours pressed on and we wandered together past the array of pushy, picture-posing gladiators outside the Colosseum, blended with fellow tourists amid the ruins of the Great Forum, and exchanged pleasantries when I unzipped its pocket with increasing stealth to pay for lunch, then later gelato, later for wine, and later for more wine, we began to reacquaint ourselves with one another. In fact, the more time that passed, the more precisely it molded itself to the curves of my stomach. The more of my belly sweat it happily absorbed into its canvas self, the less I became aware of its otherness, of its foreignness against my skin. It was as if my money belt and I had become one. And now, together, we enter the final leg of this long day's journey, the greatest test yet of our newfound relationship, the metro station at the Spanish Steps. Having just finished watching the sun set over the city from the top of the steps, the prudent thing to do would probably be to hang around a bit longer, take a seat amongst the locals and young lovebirds, wait for the horde funneling towards the metro station to die down. Yes, the prudent thing to do would be to avoid public transit at peak tourist time when the ill-intentioned among us are on the prowl in greatest numbers. But prudence be damned, my feet hurt, my legs are exhausted, and I am craving lasagna. I cannot wait. Dive into danger I must. I breathe in the underground stink, heed the warnings now unleashed in my head, put my pickpocket radar on high alert. I swing my shoulder bag just slightly to the front of my thigh, my right hand purposefully, yet casually, resting atop the bag's leather flap. Be cool, Karen. Be natural. My left hand rises and brushes discreetly against my stomach, feeling my faithful money belt. All secure? Check. I plunge onward through the swarms of people, step boldly onto the escalator, begin my descent into the dark, dank den of Roman thieves. The problem is, who in this massive chaos are the thieves? According to the all-knowing Rick Steves, pickpockets could be well-dressed businessmen, or gangs of scamming children, or mothers with crying babies, even camera-toting tourists. I inch my way through these dungeon-like corridors, and everywhere I look, I see evil in disguise. That guy to my left screaming Italian obscenities at the euro-eating ticket machine? Thief. The old man shuffling in front of me, actually wearing a backpack on his back? Thief. The family of tourists arguing while pointing in confusion at the giant Metroline map? Thieves. All are suspect. No one can be trusted. It's just me and my money belt against the world. I reach the grimy platform, hear the rumble of the metro come screeching to a halt, and feel the anticipation of silent discomfort, the anxiety of being cheek to cheek with sweaty, bad-breath strangers. The doors open. I join the rush of elbow-throwing passengers trying to squeeze on board. My eyes scan furiously for the least vulnerable position, but it's already packed. There's barely room to move. My left hand lunges for the vertical bar in the middle of the car and jostles for position. I stand wedged between a man in tan dockers and a wild-haired woman whose back is toward me. Okay, this is fine. But wait, my right hand, still securing the leather flap of my shoulder bag, rubs against something soft and bulky. I look down. Resting nonchalantly against the wild-haired woman's ass is her wide-open, bohemian-style cloth bag. Wide open! My fingers are brushing against the bag's top edge, tempting, nay, daring me to reach inside. What if her wallet's in there? Or an iPad? An iPad? I could use an iPad. I wonder how easy it would be to... No. This is nuts. No one in her right mind would be that naive. Unless... She must be a thief herself. The car begins to slow. I lower my hand on the bar so that my arm is partially shielding my hidden canvas baby from potential foul play. I brace myself for what may come. Doors open, and a rush of passengers crams into what little space remains, packing me and my neighbors in even tighter. My face is now just inches from the man's. The woman's wispy locks are tickling my nose. A child is squeezed up against my left arm. It dawns on me that my left hand, clinging tightly to the bar, is now brushing up against... Could it be? Is it really? Yes, it is. The man's penis. It's definitely his penis. Cloaked behind a durable layer of dockers, but it's there, making contact with my hand, my lesbian hand. This is uncomfortable. Can I move my hand? I should move my hand, but moving my hand would mean leaving my money belt exposed and vulnerable. Maybe this is all part of a scam. Maybe the man can tell I'm wearing a money belt. Maybe his penis is a decoy to get me to move my hand. Maybe this 10-year-old at my side is his partner, waiting intently to sneak his hand up my shirt and unsnap my money belt before darting out the door with it. No, I won't move my hand. I won't do it. It will rest against his penis and I will not apologize. I'll pretend not to notice. Avoid eye contact. Avoid eye contact. I avoid eye contact all the way to the next stop, where the doors open to a group of teenagers on the platform. There's no way any of them will attempt to push onto this car. Wait, is that guy really? He is. One of the teenagers on the ramp runs towards the open car and leaps into our car. The domino effect of this asshole's flying impact against the passengers ripples through the car, squishing us even closer together. Wild Woman's hair is now in my mouth. I'm practically kissing the thief man, whose penis is now fully jammed up against the back of my hand. A collective groan emerges throughout the car, and onward we go, rocking back and forth together. As the car begins to slow for my stop, my eyes wander. They lock with those of the man pressed against me. His eyes, just inches from mine, soften. The corners of his mouth turn upwards in an apologetic grin. A pickpocket? No. Just a regular guy trying to get home who's getting felt up by a woman guarding her money belt. The brakes screech, and the car jolts to a stop once again. The doors rattle open. I release my grip on the bar and follow a stream of people onto the gritty platform. Relieved sighs all around me greet the urine-scented air. My tired feet fall into step with the masses. I allow my hands to drop, to swing freely by my sides. The woman to my left, carrying her sleeping toddler against her chest, not a thief. The 20-something man to my right with a guitar case on his back, not a thief either. And even if they are, they're no match for my money belt.
VAMP first-timer, Karen Keating.